This is a brief introduction to the workflow from software to cutting a two-sided project on a CNC. We will look at several methods, first looking at what happens on the CNC and then how we can use our built-in software tools to make it all happen. So what is two-sided machining? Use the same piece of material for both cutting from the top and the bottom of the material. Cut one set of tool paths on one side, flip the material over, cut another set of tool paths on the other side to ultimately create a two-sided part. Top tip: for this to work correctly, it is essential to have exact alignment between the top and the bottom sides of the material. Keeping in mind what will happen on the machine when creating your file in the software is the key. Software workflow benefits. We have the ability to create a double-sided project in the same session. Depending on what software you're using, you can create and import vectors and components on either side of your part. You can visualize the two-sided part in a multi-sided environment in both the 2D and 3D view, giving you the reassurance that everything is going to be in the correct place when you're finished cutting. So how do we set up our part for two-sided machining? Let's look at the job setup form, focusing on the areas that require thought when switching to a double-sided job. So when you first fire up the software and create a new file, you are going to want to choose to create a double-sided job. This will then put the software into a two-sided environment. Now to set your Z0 position for both sides, you can set the Z0 off the material surface for both sides, off the machine bed for both sides, or you can opt to choose to zero off the same face. There is no right or wrong way to set this up. It's only important that you remember what combination of settings you have selected. As a place to start, we prefer to set the Z0 off the same side, where the top side of the material surface and the bottom side is on the machine bed. This way, it ensures that the Z is always referred to from the same face of your material. Now, it's very important here to accurately measure the thickness of your material. Something you may want to do if your material isn't perfectly flat is to surface the top so that you have a good reference face when you flip the part over. Then you will set the XY0 position. And finally, you will then choose the flip direction. This is the way that you will flip the material over on the machine to machine the other side. This flip direction influences the position of the vectors and model so that the geometry on each side is created in the appropriate positions relative to the opposite side. The in-software workflow. So now that you have the part set up in the software, and depending on what software you're using, you can create or import vectors and components independently on either side of the material. You can copy and move data from one side to the other as well. The software will position the geometry in the appropriate positions relative to the opposite side, so you'll never really need to worry that your data is misaligned, as the software will take care of that for you. Using the multi-sided view, you can proof your data positions in both the 2D and or the 3D view to help you visualize your two-sided part. Once you're happy with your design or layout, we can now create the tooling for both the top and the bottom sides. You can preview the tool paths in a multi-sided environment for accuracy. Once you're satisfied with your preview, you can save out the tool paths for both sides and then set up your part on your machine to run the top and the bottom set of tool paths. How do we physically align the XY location of the material when we flip the part over? The method we are going to talk about uses dowel holes to help us align the XY location when you turn the part over. Here you can see a picture of the top side of our part, and there is a hole that we have cut in for the dowel. Now here is the spoil board, and you can see that we have machined two dowel holes in there. Inserted the dowels, and now when we flip the part over, it should locate correctly on those two locations. Now there are two ways to approach this. Method 1 is to drill or cut all the way through your material into your spoil board and using symmetrically aligned dowel holes. Method 2 is to drill or cut partially through the material using asymmetrical dowel hole positions and then mirror those in your spoil board. Let's have a look at both of these methods. Let's look at method number 1. When you're cutting the top side of your job, you're going to want to machine all the way through the part and into the spoil board. Use the same XY0 position for both sets of tool paths. If you're going to do that, you're going to need to have a symmetrical hole pattern so the positions are in the same location when you flip it over. You just need to remember which way you physically flip your material over on the CNC. And finally, you're also going to need to make sure that when you are doing this, that you cut both the top and the bottom sides in the same session of machining on your CNC. This method won't allow you to stop the CNC and switch it off unless you can very accurately position the XY0 to the same location. To get around this, we have another option. Method 2. So rather than drilling all the way through the material and into the spoil board, we could look at using the asymmetrical dowel hole method, where we drill part way through into the top side of the material and in a separate operation machine dowel holes into the spoil board. In your job, insert dowel vectors in a non-symmetrical or asymmetrical pattern surrounding your part and copy those to the other side. Using the dowel hole vectors for the top side, drill partially through the top side of the material. Once machining is complete for the top side, take the material off the spoil board. Set your X0, Y0, Z0 for the bottom side of the spoil board. First toolpath to run is the dowel holes of the bottom side straight into the spoil board. Insert the dowels into the dowel holes in the spoil board. Now you can flip the top side material over, locating the part using the dowels. Now machine the bottom side of your part. This method ensures that we can flip our material over so that we can only have one way that we can possibly relocate it onto our machine surface. This eliminates the fact that we might flip the part in the wrong direction to what we set in the software. Another benefit is that I don't need to run the toolpaths concurrently. I could cut the top side one day with the drill pattern machined in the top side for the dowels. Then I can take the material off and then come back to it at a later date and machine the dowel holes of the bottom side into the spoil board. Then I know that I'm going to accurately locate what I machined the first time around, and then machine all of the other toolpaths for the bottom side, and I know that everything will line up correctly. The two dowel hole methods that we have described here both do require you to have a sacrificial sheet on the bed of your CNC in order to machine the dowel holes into it. If your machine doesn't have a sacrificial sheet, then you can temporarily attach a piece of MDF. An alternate method is that you could go ahead and use or create a corner jig. You will need to ensure that you can pre-size your material very accurately, and you can set the XY0 very accurately off the corner of that jig. This method, when done correctly, will give you excellent alignment in the X and the Y. There are many strategies that you could use to create a two-sided part on your machine. Things like squares or right-angle jigs and pocket jigs are only a couple. If you'd like to see how the dowel method works in practice, please look for the tutorial called Cool Cubes. This project is based on one of our free monthly projects that can be found at Vectric.com. We're going to look at creating a version of one of the boxes. These boxes are designed in a way that we can cut decorative elements on one side, flip the material over, and then machine a series of pockets on the other side that will enable us to assemble and join them together to create a perfect box.